Hi, and welcome back! Since when I'm recording this is around spooky season, aka Halloween, I wanted to do a little spooky story, which I thought would be fun, but I have to do my history homework, so this is my history homework, but it is a little bit spooky, so I'm excited to talk to you about it. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about Mary the First. Her nickname was actually Bloody Mary. She was the Queen of England and the only surviving child of Henry VIII and Catherine of Aragon. She was betrothed to Charles V at the age of 6, but when they were married, or they were going to get married for 3 years, and they talked and stuff, and they're like, nah, this isn't our thing. So they broke off the marriage proposal, and they just became lifelong friends instead. She was the queen after Edward VI, England's first female monarch, and she ruled for 5 years in total. Since her mother, Catherine of Aragon, was Catholic, her main goal as the queen was to bring back the Catholic Church and get rid of the Anglican Church that Henry had brought in. She also might have stirred some rebellion, which didn't make her any more in favor, because one, she was getting rid of the entire country's loved religion, and two, she was marrying Philip II, who was Spanish, and they didn't want him to be king because they didn't want the Spanish ruling over the English when, they're English, not Spanish. But they did make an agreement. They signed a pact that he would actually not take over England when they did marry. And it was quite odd, the marriage in general, because she was 37 and he was 26. He said that he had found her unattractive, so most of the time he spent his time in Spain away from her. During their relationship, she had gotten pregnant twice, but she never actually had a baby. Because of her wanting to bring back the Catholic Church, she saw Protestants? She saw Protestants as heretics and burned them at the stake. That is how she got her name, Bloody Mary. She actually killed 300 Protestants, to be exact. It sounds like a lot, but Henry VIII, her father, killed 81 people that he saw as heretics, and Elizabeth I, who came after her killed a whole lot more than she did. After going through trying to get back everything for the Catholic Church and all this other stuff, she died at the age of 42. It was during an influenza epidemic, so most people believed it was just because of influenza, but after doing some autopsies on her dead body, they realized that it might have been some type of cancer that was in her uterus. This is also written down somewhere. One of the scribes had said that she was having abdominal pains before she died. And a fun fact, she's actually buried right next to Elizabeth I. Now, spooky time. Since we're talking about Bloody Mary, I thought that we have to talk about the superstition of Bloody Mary in general. So, most people have heard this superstition that if you go into a dark bathroom and you look into the mirror while all the lights are out and you say Bloody Mary 3 times, she'll appear behind you all bloody and covered in stuff. It is also said that she'll appear with a blue baby saying, "You killed my baby," or appear with a reached out hand saying, "I'm gonna kill your baby," all this other stuff. And I wanted to know, where did this come from? How does this relate to the actual Mary the First, the real Bloody Mary? And I found that. I did some research. Eventually, when she married Philip II, she got pregnant. Like I've said before, there were 2 pregnancies. Both of them didn't result in a child. The first one, she actually started having a little baby bump and stuff, and she was going out and she was showing the people that she was pregnant, but many people believed and rumored and speculated that it was a fake baby or that she had stolen some woman's baby or something along those lines. It is said that during her 2nd trimester, after hearing all these rumors, she actually decided to kill most of the people who she thought were heretics. And I guess that pregnancy brain really got to her. Many of her advisors said, I don't think that you should kill this many people at once. It's really going to upset the population. But she didn't listen and continued anyway. That blood was now on her hands. It's said that the farther her pregnancy was, the more ardent she was with her faith. Her due date had finally come, and now she was in a room with a bunch of women waiting to give birth. May 9th, the official due date came and went, and no baby was born. She thought, that must have been a mix-up. Maybe I messed up the date, and it's actually June. Because she was in confinement for so long, many of the people believed that she had died in childbirth and hoped that she had given birth to a boy. As days continued to grow on without seeing their queen, and with unknown speculations of her childbirth, rumors began to spread. It was now said that she gave birth to a mole or some kind of fleshy lump. The doctors finally decided to deliver the bad news. And she was not happy. It is said for weeks she would lie in her bed without speaking, like she was dead. Sometimes she would curl up into a ball and cry into her knees for hours. The only thing that could have made this devastation worse was how widely it was publicized. Not only did she not have a baby and she messed up for her entire line, the entire kingdom knew that she had messed up. And this traumatized Mary. It is actually one of the most well-documented cases of a false pregnancy. It said that she felt the baby kick, that she had nausea, that she had the baby bump, but no baby ever came from it. After all the events occurred, she no longer talked about the pregnancy. Eventually, she then died of her uterus ovarian cancer that she had. It's quite the sad story of Mary, and I hope that you enjoyed listening. Have a spooky night, I guess. Don't say her name into a mirror. Doesn't matter if it's not true. That ain't good to mess with things.